Welcome back to another video. Today we are in day 2, so let's create our day 2 folder. We said we can either do it here, new folder, or do it here, new folder. So either way, it's just the same thing. Let's go day 02, press enter, and it appears in both places. So here, let's make a new file. Let's call it index. Let's get used to naming our first file index.html. Then let's make our HTML declarations. Head, title, body. So I hesitated to write the title first before introducing what we're doing today. So today we are looking at more tags, specifically a tag that makes lists. There are a couple of them. So today our lesson will be on lists, how to make lists on web pages. So lists are, so let's make a heading here also, like a H1, which should be centered preferably. Center H1. Oops, H1 lists. Okay, let's first see how that looks on our browser. Okay, day 2, drag this there, and we have it. So we have the title there and our heading here. Right, let's write a few things down regarding lists. So I'm going to make a paragraph here, some space here. Paragraph, that's B, tab, then enter. So lists are used to group items together. Lists are used to group items together. So we all know what lists are. We just need to find out how to do them in HTML. So we have two types of lists in HTML. So one type of list is the ordered lists. So the ordered lists will number for you automatically, but the unordered lists will use bullet points. So let's see, we have two types of lists, namely ordered lists and unordered lists. So ordered lists, let's write in another paragraph preferably. So ordered lists are automatically numbered. While unordered lists use bullet points. Another paragraph here. Oops. Once we make a list, we then populate it with list items. All tags in HTML are easy to remember because they mostly use the first initials, letters, preferably letters of their designated name. For example, to make unordered lists, we use the tags. OL. Let me call that the tag name instead. Use the tag name OL and UL for unordered lists. For the list items, we use the tag name LI. So you can see that it's very intuitive. Ordered lists becomes OL, unordered lists become UL, and list items becomes LI. So let's see this in action. Below here, let's make a H4 to introduce our tag here. So ordered lists, list of fruits. So we first make the ordered lists, OL, press enter, then inside here we make the list items. So we can go with apples, oranges, pineapples, lemons, grapes, pears, plums. So you can kind of get how it's going. First you declare the list as ordered, then you put your list items. Okay, let's see that in action. Let me fetch the browser. Here's our browser. So we have our lists there. So all we need to do here is to refresh this, and we get our paragraphs, and then we get our ordered list. So you can see we did not put any numbers. It automatically put the numbers for us because it's declared as a ordered list. So next, let's see an unordered list. So let's give it a heading the same as here, H4. Unordered list. Unordered list of countries. Okay, so we use UL for the unordered list. Let's press enter there. Then add our list items. Kenya, USA, UK, Russia, Ukraine, and so on. Let's refresh that, and you see that the unordered list puts bullet points instead of numbers. Okay, let's go on. So I'd like us to look at another type of lists. In this time, let's use a H2 to introduce another list, the definition list. Definition list. So the definition list goes like this. So the definition list is, as you can see here, let's follow this. Unordered list becomes OL. Ordered list becomes OL, unordered list becomes UL, definition list becomes DL. So let's first put the DL here. Oops, this should be DL. Okay, so now this is a much different kind of list. So first of all, we define the title. That's called the definition title, and then we also add something else called the definition description. So let's see how that works. So let's first write paragraph here. The definition list is added with a tag name of DL. Definition list. Put a comma there. Then inside the DL we have the definition title written with the tag name DT, and then the definition description. Some call it data, so it can be definition data or definition description, written as DD. Let's see that in action below there. But inside the DL, so we start with the DT definition title. You can call this like web development, and the DD comes below there. I can put a lorem here. So this is like a piece, so let's treat it as such. Okay, let's add another one. So it's scrolling sideways there. So let's add a DT here and say Python and DD and RAM. Then let's split this. And let's look at now what we have. So you can see that DL holds the DT and the DD. So let's look at that, refresh this, and you'll see this is the type of thing it creates. So the title knows to come there, and the DD knows to start, to give some space here, then start. So you can add one more just for practice. DT, and say data science. DD and lorem. And let me split this. Yeah, so I should have split even this. They can fit in the same place. Yeah, like so that we don't have sideways scrolling, so that nothing is hiding beyond that area there. Okay, let's see now what we have. Okay, so those are the type of lists we have. Okay, next I'd like to introduce something else called attributes that will make sense with our current tags. So let's see. So below here we can first put an OL here, an ordered list. Let's first give it a heading. Ordered lists. Ordered list with attribute. Okay, let's first define the OL. Then the list items, you can say Ferrari, Porsche, Mercedes. So that's our ordered list. Let's first see how it looks like. it's just a normal ordered list. Okay, here is our ordered list with attributes. Call it with an attribute, yeah, like that. Okay, so it's just a normal ordered list. So let's see what an attribute does. So tag attribute. So this is the syntax of an attribute. It's written within the first tag. So you leave the tag name, you put a space, then you put the attribute name, because there's lots of attributes. And then an attribute must have a value, then the content normally, and then the closing tag. So all tags can have attributes. In fact, each tag has very many attributes you can use. These attributes provide more control of an element, as we will see, and it's placed within the start tag or the opening tag, and it's comprised of key value pairs. So this is the key, this is the value. So the attribute name is the key, and then the attribute value is the value. So this is the type of thing we will put. So we have an OL here, and the attribute we will look at is called type. Then we will give it a value of I and see what happens. So let's do that. So over here on the OL space, the attribute name, which happens to be type, equals. So you can see immediately I type the equal sign. It just put for me the double quotes because they are needed and it's a must. I put them there. Okay, seems to be having a problem with my computer. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Okay, I think it's back now. No, it's not back yet. So all I need to put here is the letter I. Then let's see what happens in the browser. So immediately I put I and refresh. We will see that is that I correctly there? Let me check. Okay, so I'm having trouble with my Visual Studio Code. It's taking some time to load. Let's wait for it. Let's press reopen. Okay, I think it's back now. So let me refresh this. I think it's also having, oh yeah, so now it's okay. So this means these are Roman numerals, because we used the letter I for that, and my Visual Studio is still not responding. Let me just give it a second here. It's back. So here I'd like to add some more of these list items. Oops. So no matter how many we add, Nissan, Mazda, the list keeps growing. So let it refresh. So the list grows and it numbers with Roman numbers. So no matter how many you put, it will still number. It will continue numbering with Roman numerals. Okay, we can have another example. Let's copy this one. Copy it. Paste it down below. Nope, didn't copy. Copy it. Paste it down below. Then change this to a capital I. Let's see how that affects it. Did you save? Oh, it hasn't saved. Okay, so let's now refresh. Okay, so it's still Roman numerals but with capital letters. Okay, let's paste another one down here because it's already in the clipboard. We've copied. We can just paste it again. So let's use an A here. See what happens. Is it saved? It hasn't saved. Okay, it has. So A, numbers with alphabets, small letters. Let's paste it again here. Now let's put a capital A. See how that affects it. It's saved. Yes. Okay, it's not saved yet. Okay. Should be saved. Yeah. So now we have alphabet in capitals, and that's how we use attributes. You can see we are exercising more control over ordered lists with an attribute. So just with an attribute, we can change the numbering system from numbers, like here the way we have by default, to Roman numerals in small letters, capitals, and alphabets in small letters and capital letters. So let's see what we can do about an unordered list. Let's try a H4 here. Unordered lists. What did you say about the other one? With an attribute. With an attribute. Okay, make a UL. List items. We can copy paste the list items here. No need to create them. We just need to demonstrate the attribute here. So here we go type. Remember, these unordered lists are bullets, so the type we can use are the shapes. So we can try square. Let's see how square does it. Is it saved? It's taking some time. Let's try disk. Alright, so it's now showing the square after we've removed it. Let me just return it there, then make another one. I think my VS Code is going through some processing here. So this can be disk, another one can be circle, yeah, so we have circle, disk, and square. Then we also have another one. Before we check out that, we have none. Let's see how each of those conform. Let's give Visual Studio a second to save that. It's processing something. Okay, let's go ahead. So you can see square. So the first one is square, disk, circle, and none. Yeah. So square, disk, circle, and none. So disk seems to be just the default. So even this, if you put a 1, it will just be the default. Let me demonstrate that. So for all else here, let's copy this one, paste it below, then use the type as number 1. So it will result to the default. It's not saved yet. Still processing. Okay. Ah, yeah, there we go. So the default is 1. If you put 1, it becomes the default. And for the unordered list, if you put disk, it becomes just the default. So we have square, disk, circle, and none. So that's it for lists and attributes, and see you on the next video.